or that mid-range especially, Bowser Jr. can wall out Wario. Now, of course, we have seen how Glutonny uses his movement to kind of move around hitboxes, so that could be a very interesting point to look at. But for now, let's just focus on how this game's opened. It's Glutonny versus Snormanda.
Right, we're going back to Pokemon Stadium 2. What else, right? It is the starter stage nowadays. And already we see those forward airs, that rising forward air, auto-canceling as well, just an amazing anti-air. And Glutonny looking for Snormanda to commit, and Snormanda does, finds an up air. Look at this damage, and this is why Bowser Jr. gets those huge comebacks. It all starts with a single up air, 70% out of one interaction. And Glutonny was looking for Snormanda to commit, and that kind of bit him in the behind. So far though, is answering back with his own up air string. Needs a lot less of them to do the same amount of damage. That is going to be the Wario classic. So far, again, we see Glutonny feeling at home in a position of control.
Right, and once again, I'm looking at Glutonny's stage control. As you so aptly pointed out in our previous set, Glutonny is all about getting the stage control and then punishing every single little mistake you make. So far, it's been more of the same, but Snormanda has been keeping up because of, like you said, the walling with forward air. Now Glutonny finds an opening, gets the back air, gets the first stock.
And that's the cool thing about Glutonny, and actually, I made a video on this, so I actually think this is like a super interesting topic. One of the things that Glutonny does is that he doesn't just control the neutral horizontally, which is what most characters and most players kind of default to. He also focuses a lot on like his vertical control. And we saw at the end there, he got that KO by jumping over the rising forward air that Snormanda threw out and going for a landing back air. So instead of, saying, hey, I cannot contest you horizontally, instead I'm going to use my vertical control, go over your forward air and kill you through that. So I think in that sense, he's adding a whole new dimension, literally, to the ways that he can break into your zone. And I think in that sense we can see a lot more from Glutonny, just like that, going over the up smash, using that vertical control and just getting the confirm for the waft. It's all about that movement.
And it didn't look bad just now for Snormanda, but as soon as Glutonny got that waft, my heart started sinking. I'm a big Snormanda fan, but I can't see him getting back from this. But let's see what happens. Needs to get a jab, needs to get some sort of KO move, which is so hard when Glutonny's playing in 4 dimensions, whereas you are playing in 3.
Alright, 40 chests on deck here in game 1. Glutonny again posed to get a 3 stock. Snormanda has to find some way to get rid of Glutonny's stock now. Here we got the ledge trap, the bike on deck, throwing it out, forcing an option, and then covering that option perfectly. Glutonny just indestructible, just covering everything on the board.
It's so sad to see you. The bike gets thrown at you, and you basically have to choose. Do I do neutral get up? Do I do roll? No, you can't roll against Glutonny, so I guess it's neutral get up, and then you just get dash attacked.
Yeah.
What do you do about that?
What do you do about that? Well, one thing you can do is drop and mix up from there. And if you're really on point, you can always mix a double jump in. And the thing is, you got to recognize, hey, will this bike go off stage or will it remain on stage, right? If it goes off stage, then you're forced to pick an option because it's going to hit you. But if it remains on stage in a lot of scenarios, depending on the ledge angle, of course, in a lot of scenarios, it will not hit you on the ledge, right? So you can actually kind of chill. It's more of a feint than an actual pressure tool, depending on the spacing. So in that sense, a lot of matchup experience needed to accurately reply in that situation.
Right. Alright, so let's go into game number 2. Let's see what Snormanda can do to bring this back. So far, it's been Glutonny, once again, with the quick combos. The big difference, really, like you highlighted in game number 1, is whenever Glutonny gets a hit, it's 50 to 60%. Whereas when Snormanda gets hit, yeah, he does get those up air strings in the early percentages, but afterwards, it's just chip damage.
Yep. Yeah, and that's one of those things that Glutonny is just so good at, using that nimble nature of Wario. He's a fat man, but surprisingly hard to hit. So yeah, it's fine. You can hit a rising fair against Wario, and then he kind of comes back in, hits you with an air, gets an entire combo conversion off of it. And the thing is, against most characters, you get these straight hits, and then you get advantage afterwards. But good luck holding your advantage against Wario. He has some of the best recovery in the game, one of the heaviest characters in the game, a lot of ambiguous mix-up due to his drift, his bike. So overall, just very hard to convert properly off of those stray hits.
Right,
Like, look at that. He got the straight forward air, and now Glutonny just kind of biking through. Is going to get forward air again. This could be huge. Now Glutonny without resources, but Snormanda doesn't capitalize. Tries to go for the jab. Did not realize, hey, Glutonny didn't have a jump, didn't have a bike there.
Right, that could have been a big opportunity for Snormanda. Now, once again, he's vying for that neutral. Gets chomped on. Doesn't get KO'd due to Bowser Jr.'s surprisingly high weight, but needs to get out of the corner, and that's difficult. Does do it with an up smash.
The call out on the jump, and I mean, not a surprising call out. Wario does love being in the air, but Snormanda, with some great presence of mind to go for it, now sitting at 200%, is not going to fall to the down air either. Is going to look for a singular combo starter here. One up air could also already even up the game, or I should say could already give him a solid lead, but Glutonny evens up the game with the down air.
Right, and you say evens up, but I remember something, and there it is.
What did you remember in there?
I mean, you always need to be, whenever you're casting a Glutonny or a Wario set in general, there's always the waft, right? There's always the waft.
And the conversions as well. Using the side platform, like, Kalos was Snormanda's counterpick, which I totally understand. It's a great Bowser Jr. stage. But it's also great for Wario. If he gets you in a tech chase on those side platforms, he can waft you if you roll out, which means you have to roll in, which makes it then makes it easier to get the waft on the roll in. So it's like it's still an RPS, but it's a lot harder to guess at because you're so much closer to the blast zone. It's going to be that much scarier to go for a rollout. Oh,
nope. I
saw a pause on the mash.
We're just gonna play.
Okay,
that's fine. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So once again, it's Glutonny now in the lead. Snormanda does get the jab. Last time Snormanda got Glutonny off stage, didn't really get anything out of it. And once again, Glutonny finds his way back just to the middle. Right.
Glutonny again, the corner pressure. Forward tilt is not going to whiff punish due to Bowser Jr.'s kind of wacky get-up attack animation. The waft read on the roll, but was too early. Have you ever had that happen? That you read something and you were too soon? Glutonny just knowing exactly what's going to happen.
Right, he's 5 seconds ahead, but that's, I still need to convert the time. Now gets the back air, and that will take game number 2. A very dominant performance once again from the French player.
Yeah, for sure. Glutonny just strong every single time. And guys, don't forget to turn off pause when you're playing in tournament. That's that's not how you want to go out. That's not how you want to go out. Of course, these players just keep continuing to play. I do think it was Snormanda pausing. So either way, no change in the result. But yeah, very interesting. Like you said, I do think Snormanda finding a few more of those plays that he needed. With the up smash call out, especially getting the first stock. But then the second stock was just over in a flash. It was nair, finding a delayed nair to continue his combo, right? So kind of a trade-off. So he said, hey, you can actually get out of the combo here if you do the right thing with, for example, like a directional air dodge, I think. And instead saying, hey, I know how you're going to act in this combo. Instead, I'm going to use that opportunity to get this extra little delayed nair in, which is going to extend my combo. That's what I think. That might be true on Bowser Jr. I know it's not true on a lot of other characters, though. So in that case, like, if it is true on Bowser Jr., extremely strong presence of mind by Glutonny. Big fan of how he decided, hey, I'm going to play this combo in a way that doesn't just play to the combo itself, because, like, everyone can do a combo. If you spend a few days labbing out Wario combos, you can do a Wario combo. But having the presence of mind to say, hey, it's not just the combo, but also the situations after every single hit of the combo, and I can play to your strengths and weaknesses in those situations as well. Just taking in mind variables that other players don't even think about.
Right. It's like Glutonny has a book and has it memorized to a T, knows every single outcome of every page, stuff like that. Gets the up air here, gets another quick 38%. It's just, it's hard. It's hard for Snormanda.
On the other hand, I do think Snormanda is doing a good job getting out of this advantage using that side B and the mix-ups associated with the side B to make sure that he doesn't take too much damage when Glutonny does get that hit. As you said, like, it was a quick 30-something damage for Glutonny, but afterwards, Snormanda managed to reset to neutral, and that's where we kind of get this poking game, where I do think, like, Bowser Jr. does pretty well. It's just that if you look at the degree to which these characters commit, Wario a lot less committal than Bowser Jr. is.
Yeah, that's definitely true, but I do like what I'm seeing from Snormanda here. Tries to go for the up B, a little bit too greedy, but does end up in an even exchange.
Yeah, again, like something funny that you pointed out at Snormanda in Snormanda versus I Refuse is that they both kind of use their vehicles to get out of disadvantage. Well, we can add another character to that list. Like Snormanda's side being out of disadvantage, Glutonny's side being out of disadvantage. It's it's just a back and forth, but Glutonny getting the best of that back and forth with that KO. Now getting a combo starter. The Nair almost getting the platform extension. Just a little bit off on the timing, maybe not a true combo, but either way, does find a continuation against side B out of disadvantage. Snormanda just using those mix-ups so well. Again, verticality, a big theme in these matches, in my opinion.
Gets the down tilt, the lick. Will probably try to go for another jab here. No, tries to go for the lick once again, but Glutonny with great timing on the get-up attack gets past the ledge trap of Snormanda. Lead a B. And there's the waft.
He's been getting those waft confirms time and time again, and like, Glutonny is a god at getting them. Don't get me wrong, but you shouldn't be getting them that easily, right? So Snormanda maybe a little bit too aggressive, giving Glutonny a few openings too many to find those waft confirms, and again, Glutonny finding an opening to get a combo started, and now Snormanda in the woods, but does make it out with the down air mix-up. A little bit of a cheeky timing mix-up right there.
Goes to the up throw rather than the back throw. Tries to keep Snormanda in the air. Now it's Snormanda keeping Glutonny in the air with those up air strings. Very important. 48% it's for Glutonny, but it's a rough road for Snormanda ahead with 105%.
I like the way he's playing this advantage though, but Glutonny just, again, the side B, time and time again, we see the vehicle mix-ups and the up B almost getting the KO. The kill screen was on deck. That cannonball gonna fall. The cannonball gonna fall. Is that gonna lead into trouble? No, not quite, but it would have been funny. It would have been funny to see the cannonball just dropping onto Glutonny's head, leading into a KO, but the forward smash will another timing mix-up by Snormanda.
Right, and Glutonny rolled there and got punished for it immediately. Normally we see that the other way around. Now it's Snormanda on the ledge, does get out this time, but the corkscrew will not KO just yet. 170% on our Bowser Jr. player.
Okay, goes for an overshoot with the side, with the up B, knows that he's safe because of the Mecha Koopa, and this is Glutonny's game to lose. 180% on Gluto, finds the final hit of the down air, and that's gonna be Glutonny winning 3-0 versus Snormanda. Just overall solid display, but Snormanda showing some signs of brilliance throughout the set.
I definitely agree, and I love watching that set. Despite it being a 3-0, at some points it didn't really feel like a 3-0, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
we saw some really good stuff from Snormanda, and that's very important.